Hello, I'm Mary, and in this tutorial, we'll show you how to use eMedia CS to retrieve the identifier of a contactless smart card, also known as its serial number. This tutorial is divided into 4 parts. Some basics. Customizing a card template. Printing and encoding. Verifying an encoded card. Note that you must have an expert edition of eMedia CS to perform contactless encoding. Some concepts. All contactless smart cards have a factory-engraved, non-changeable identifier. This number is supposed to be unique. Note that some contactless smart cards allow you to set this identifier by yourself. Furthermore, some cards can return identifiers whose value changes with each reading. The identifier of a contactless smart card is a number of at least 4 bytes, commonly 4, 7, or 8 bytes. This number can be read as a decimal value or, more commonly, as a hexadecimal value, using base 16. Since this number is stored as a sequence of bytes, this sequence can be considered to be written in the usual order, with the largest digits first, a notation called big endian, or with the smallest digits first, a notation called little endian. Thus, the same serial number can be represented by the following values: decimal, big endian; decimal, little endian; hexadecimal, big endian; hexadecimal, little endian. You will need to tell eMedia CS the encoding base and format so that the value is suitable for the device that will read the card. Customizing a card template. eMedia CS can read the contactless smart card identifier and write it to the card itself and/or store it in a database. We must have a printer that includes one of the contactless couplers supported by eMedia CS, SpringCard, OmniKey, Elictus, Identifier, STID, etc. If the printer is not equipped with a contactless coupler, we can also use an external coupler. However, we will need to print our cards in 2 passes, a first pass on the external coupler to retrieve the ID, and a second pass with the printer to print. Here's how to proceed in eMedia CS. We are currently in design mode with a new card. Let's open the template that needs to be linked to a contactless ID. This template is linked to a database. We will store the contactless ID in a field in the table. Note that the database field is linked to this object on the template. Select the Contactless Encoding tool from the toolbox to bring up the profile selection window. Select Internal Encoding System to retrieve serial number and click OK. The encoding wizard appears. Click Next. Select the encoder installed on the workstation. If necessary, use the Configure button to select the device. Then click Next. Indicate in which field of the database linked to the card template you want to store the identifier, if necessary. Indicate in which object on the card you want to store the identifier, if necessary. Indicate the storage format, high order first or low order first, as well as the base to use, base 10 or 16. Click Next, then Finish. Now, don't forget to save the card template. Printing and encoding. To print our cards, let's switch to operating mode. We select the record to print, or enter the relevant data. Then we start printing. Once the card is printed, let's check if the ID has been stored in the database. It's OK, as we can see the ID here. Note that the printed card does indeed have the contactless card ID, since the text object in the top right corner is linked to the card field in the table. Verify an encoded card. The Cool Reader feature of eMedia CS allows you to find a card by reading a barcode, a magnetic stripe, or contactless card identifier. We configured it from the Tools menu to find the card corresponding to the identifier read on an external contactless reader. Let's launch Cool Reader, then present a previously printed card. The card image appears on the screen, allowing us to validate the card holder. Now present the card just printed. Its image appears on the screen. This concludes our demonstration. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe.